Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel 100% Pure Elvis. The next item in my collection that I wanted to go through with you all today is a magazine by Vintage Rock. It is titled Elvis Collectors Edition, The King of Rock and Roll, 68 Comeback Special Show. And if I do zoom in, it tells you what is included inside this magazine. So as you can see, it has 132 pages of pure Presley. It goes through Aloha from Hawaii, Elvis Fashion, the 68 Comeback Special Show, and Essential Guide to his Vegas years. This magazine I've had in my collection for a number of years. Again, I can't remember when I purchased this, maybe 5-6 years ago. And again, what we'll do, we'll look through this this magazine together. So again, what I'm going to do is go page by page and show you what's inside this magazine. So straight away, you've got the welcome from the editor, and at the bottom, some images of Elvis there. And this is the contents. So as you can see, the contents includes Return of the King, Great Minds from Elvis in Memphis, Casino Royale, The Only Way is Elvis, Scotty Moore obituary, subscriptions, Vintage Rock Gallery all around the world, 40 greatest Elvis songs, 1968 to 1977, Riding Shotgun, Heartbreak Hotels, The Word on Elvis, His Later Flames, Got It Covered, Clothes Fit for the King, The Final Curtain, Roll Over Beethoven, Long Live Vinyl, Coda. So again, let's look through this magazine together. And if you do go to the Vintage Rock ordering system online, you should still be able to get this magazine. I love the Vintage Rock magazines that get released on Elvis. They do such a good job. And again, I know a few of my subscribers have been tempted to purchase these magazines. So well done if you were able to get this in your collection. But again, such great content in each of these magazines. And as you can see, page after page of pure Elvis. This here, Strictly Elvis UK, the Elvis Travel Service. I have the pleasure of working for them each year at the Strictly Elvis Festival in the United Kingdom. So a great organisation to be a part of. Classic image of Elvis there from the Suspicious Minds era. And as it says here, in 1969 Elvis recorded one of his biggest tracks of his career, Suspicious Minds. Now again, I don't know if I have said this in any of my uploads before, but I'm actually not a big fan of the song Suspicious Minds. I'm not saying that I don't like it, but I'm just not a major fan of it. And this is like advertising a ring that was available that you could order it then. A classic album from Elvis in Memphis, one of my favourite albums, with the Memphis Mafia there. Now this In the Ghetto Any Day Now, I also prefer the double A side on that, Any Day Now. I absolutely adore that track. Casino Royale. By 1969, rock and roll's king had reclaimed his throne, but could he conquer the glamour capital of the world? And as we all know, he did exactly that. Between 1969 and 1977, every single Elvis concert was a sellout. Again, a fellow subscriber to my channel, Patrick Asplays, Gina, she had the pleasure of seeing Elvis in concert in 1976, and I loved listening to her story. So again, thank you, Gina, for sharing that on your channel. The only way is Elvis, it certainly is. I've got these both in my collection. Now, talking about Elvis on tour, apparently Baz Luhrmann is looking at getting some footage that's never been brought to light for Elvis on tour to get something done to release parts of the documentary that has never been seen before. The classic That's the Way It Is album. And I prefer reading these magazines to some of the books. And now we're going on to the Scotty Moore obituary. Great image of Elvis there with Scotty Moore. Such a great man. So here we've got some poster images. So from my favourite movie, Change of Habit, with Lisa and Priscilla there, family photo. The Aloha from Hawaii press conference. Getting off the plane for Aloha. Oh, and here we go, all around the world. This is about Aloha from Hawaii. And again, Aloha from Hawaii beamed worldwide to an audience of over 1 billion. So here we go, 40 greatest Elvis songs, 1968 to 1977. Let's see if we agree with what they say. So in at number, so we, oh, it actually doesn't have numbers, but what we'll do, we'll just go through what they reckon. So we have In the Ghetto, Suspicious Minds, Clean Up Your Own Backyard, Don't Cry Daddy, Rubbernecking, Kentucky Rain, Mama Like the Roses, I've Lost You, The Wonder of You, You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, Patch It Up, There Goes My Everything, I Really Don't Want to Know, I Was Born About 10,000 Years Ago, Cindy Cindy, It's Your Baby, You Rock It, Stranger in the Crowd, I Just Can't Help Believing, I Washed My Hands in Muddy Water, Rags to Riches, It's Only Love, Until It's Time for You to Go, Merry Christmas Baby, Burning Love, Separate Ways, Always on My Mind, Steamroller Blues, I've Got a Thing About You Baby, Raised on Rock, Are You Sincere, If You Talk in Your Sleep, I've Got a Feeling in My Body, Promised Land, Talk About the Good Times, Trouble, Hurt, For the Heart, She Thinks I Still Care, Moody Blue, Way Down. For me, my favourite song of Elvis from the 70s, I've got many favourite songs from the 70s of Elvis and 60s and 50s. I always return to an album track which I used to always kind of listen to growing up when I used to listen to the Today album. I absolutely loved the song Bringing It Back, and not a well-known song in some Elvis circles, but if you're a true Elvis fan, you will know it. I was talking to an Elvis fan recently online, and I actually mentioned that song, and believe it or not, they actually hadn't heard it before. So again, there's many fans out there of Elvis that just haven't listened to all of his back catalogue. And the person I was messaging online about my favourite song was around my age. So I was really shocked that the person hadn't heard of the song Bringing It Back before. And I asked for his opinion on the song once he listened to it, and he messaged me back saying very different style of Elvis and very 70s, and again, yes, it was, but he also said he actually felt it wasn't a strong track, but I respect people's opinions. But again, for me, that's my favourite from the 70s. What's your favourite song from the 70s? What's your favourite song from the 60s? What's your favourite song from the 50s? I would love to see in the comments below. So now we're going into Heartbreak Hotels. The relentless grind of Vegas shows a spiralling drug problem, and a divorce from Priscilla left Elvis a broken man. And I totally agree with that statement. But again, some great images of Elvis here. I'm not going to talk about that. We all know what that picture is. So the word on Elvis. Now, this Julie Burns serves up a stellar top 10 of Elvis books fit for any Presley fan. Again, let's look through these together. How many of these do we own? So the first one here, the Elvis Encyclopedia. I do own that book. We also have Last Train to Memphis by Peter Guralnick. Yes, I do own that. Elvis, The Twilight of Memory. I uploaded that recently. And then we have Elvis and Gladys. I do not have that in my collection. We have Elvis by the Presleys. I have that. A definitive insight into Elvis' style. I don't have that book. We also don't have this one, Elvis in His Own Words. I do have this one, The Ultimate Sessionography. I do not have this one, A Rock Critic's Salute. I do not have this one, The Stories Behind the Songs. So a few that I don't have. This here is, who's that? Sybil Shepherd. And as you all know, he did date Sybil Shepherd in the 70s. And the beautiful Linda Thompson. Had the privilege of meeting Linda Thompson at the Strictly Elvis Festival. A mainstay in his life up until 1976. Ginger Alden. Again, I've done a review of that book a couple of months ago. So you will all know my opinions. And now we have got it covered. Bill Dahl takes a look at some of the best cover versions in the King's back catalogue. So these are all songs that Elvis covered. So we have CC Rider, Polk Salad Annie, Walk a Mile in My Shoes, The Fool. We have Bridge Over Troubled Water, Faded Love, Got My Mojo Working, Keep Your Hands Off It, Funny How Time Slips Away, Tomorrow Never Comes, You've Lost That Loving Feeling, Whole Lot of Shaking Going On, I Can Help, That's What You Get for Loving Me, Shake a Hand Just a Little Bit, He'll Have to Go. And now we're going into, this is from the 68 special. Meeting President Nixon there. Pure Presley style. The Final Curtain, unfortunately, that's when we lost Elvis. Look at the crowds that turned up to the gates of Graceland. I will get to pay my respects to him one day. And now we have Roll Over Beethoven. I did do the upload to this box set recently, this week, and please go and check that out. And again, very controversial with some Elvis fans. If I Can Dream with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. For me, it did bring Elvis back to the masses, to a younger audience. So wasn't the biggest fan, but again, I did buy it. And so here we go. We're nearly at the end of the magazine. So we have Bill Dahl takes a look at the choice cuts from Elvis's releases from 1969 onwards. So let me just zoom in for you. So we have from Elvis in Memphis, Elvis Country, Love Letters from Elvis, Elvis Now, Elvis from Memphis and Vegas, from Vegas to Memphis, That's the Way It Is, Raised on Rock for Old Time's Sake, Promised Land, from Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee, Moody Blue, and Coda, the final page. And that was the follow-up release to to If I Can Dream, which is The Wonder of You with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Again, I have also done an upload of that, but a great 1950s image of Elvis there. And this box set here, Elvis on television 1956 to 1960, I do not have in my collection. So I am looking at purchasing that. So again, that is my review of the magazine Vintage Rock presents Elvis Collectors Edition, the King of Rock and Roll. Again, for me, great magazine to have in my collection. They always release great magazines, Vintage Rock do. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to review the next three, but I do want to show them you. And if you want me to review any of them, please leave in the comments below and I will get back to reviewing them. So the first one, again, is Vintage Rock presents Elvis Collector's Edition. And again, this is a totally different magazine. So again, as you can see, total different contents. If you want me to review that, I will certainly get that reviewed sometime this week. And then we have, again, Vintage Rock presents Elvis, a celebration, 40th anniversary tribute, the man behind the myth. And finally, we have, again, Vintage Rock, the final decade Elvis, country hits and glorious gospel, essential tracks, studio secrets. So again, if you want me to review any of them three, please leave in the comments below. But the magazine I have just reviewed for you all is Elvis Collector's Edition, the King of Rock and Roll. Thank you for taking the time out to watch this upload. If you would kindly subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. It will help make my channel grow. To everyone else who has supported me along the way, thank you for your ongoing support. And as I always say, please keep a lookout for more uploads coming soon. Please keep Elvis close to your hearts. Please keep on playing his music. Speak to you all soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.